Alright, folks, this is one of those where we're going to have to play a game of where's Tanny and find Tanny and then tag him once it gets going because Zwift is not letting me see him again at the start of the race like it used to. I don't know why it does this. So let's get going. We're just going to follow this guy until we see Tanny pop up there. Once we see Tanny, because he's in there, he commented, I know he's there. We just got to find him. How am I in the front? That's not possible. So let's see him. We'll probably see him before we see him. Before I can click on his name. It's weird because the Zwift companion app shows me that somebody I follow is Zwifting. There he is. And then I go there and he's not in there, and then all of a sudden he's there. So there he is, fan view, boom. Orange hat, dark jersey. Here we go, folks. We are racing in Scotland. This is stage 3 of the Scotland race. And in this race, they call it the Mickey, what the heck did they call it? Mickey Finn or something like that? No. Mickey Yin? Muckley Yin? And what this is a combination of all the routes so far in Scotland. So this combines the downtown crit in Glasgow, the Rolling Highlands ride, which was the first route that was released, basically, and then the Sk, which is the climb up one side and down the other. So this throws it all together for 14. What? No burritos? I'm quitting. Okay, right on. So this throws it all together for 14 plus miles. I think it's 14.5 mile race with just about 1,000 feet elevation. And I just did this ride earlier, a couple hours earlier. And there we go. Here, let's give Nathaniel a ride on. Let's find him first. Let's see, where is that little monkey boy? And more, because I got the thumb there, I can do this. Where is he? There he is, orange cap. Okay, dark jersey off to the right there, towards the front. He's in the front of the pack. There he is with his mustache sticking out. Wins by a mustache. Okay. And we just gave him a thumbs up. So, what are we going to do? Oh, we're going to play with camera angles. So there he is there on the side. That gray Canyon bike. I think that's a Canyon. Wait a minute. How come it doesn't give me the view? Let's go this way. Let's go that way. Let's do this. Let's do that. Alright, since this is going to be a 14-mile race, 14 and a half miles, I will pause. I'll try to show you the finer parts of Scotland, such as those castles. Let's see what they're doing here. So they're doing 25 miles an hour up at 3% grade. He's pushing almost 400 watts, just shy of 400. The peloton, or the pack is what? Whoa, that's a lot of people. Let me get over there so I can see that. Holy moly, 328 participants in this field. And let's see, yeah. What else can I tell you? Let's play around with the view here. People already deploying their feathers to make them lightweight going up a little 2% hill? That seems a little early for that. Waste of a good feather, I think. Of course, the arrow you can do anytime, because that's, if you're in a pack and you're drafting or you're just going up a little bit, the arrow makes you just a little more efficient, which is just going to save some of your watts. So there's and more in the middle of the pack. What else can I tell you? Nathaniel sent me an article about the burrito. And you know how we have talked about the burrito makes you undraftable. There's Nathaniel up in the front. Yay, he's going to take that first thing in whatever it is. So we'll see if he got another power up for something. And so yeah, the burrito makes you undraftable for 10 seconds. What we have recently learned is the burrito makes you undraftable and everyone around you in a 2.5 meter radius. And that also includes you. Okay, so you hurt yourself possibly if you're in the middle of this pack, for example, and you drop your burrito, then you can't have the draft effect off the person in front of you either, because that person's within 2.5 meters of you, and which makes everybody in that range undraftable. So if you were drafting somebody in the middle of the pack and you drop it, you just shot yourself in the foot. The only time the burrito is any good is if you are in the front and you're like making a breakaway sprint finish and you don't want anybody to draft you in that area and there's nobody up in front of you, then deploy the burrito. Other than that, throw it away. Throw it in the trash bin. They give you that option. So if you don't think you're going to be in the front, just get rid of it. You're just going to mess people up and potentially yourself as well. Nathaniel's sort of hanging in the front there for some reason. He's burning all his matches. Okay. Okay, here we go in the castle. I like this castle, and it's the red roof. When you see the red roof, that's when you deploy your feather. All these people deploying their feathers too soon. Now you see that red roof, deploy the feather. You get it through that 8%, 9%. And so there's some good usage of the feather right there. But yeah, some of them are actually a little late because now they're on the 1% and they don't need it. Yeah, I noticed when you're coming through that arch, and as soon as you see that red roof of the building ahead of you, it is a good time to deploy your feather. All right, let's pause just for a moment, just in the sake of brevity for the length of the video. All right, folks, coming back at you here. We're about 1/3 of the way through, and we are beginning the climb to Skuh. Not sure if I'm saying it right. Skuh, Summit North, right there, Skuh. And nice, fun little climb. People are deploying feathers on 3 and 4%. I think that's a little premature. There's some steeper parts that they might find better use of that, and I don't mean to be a critical commentary, but yeah, folks, you're just wasting that shit. So gets a little gravelly here in some spots. This is where you're going to see the peloton break up a bit. Okay, so up until this point, this first 5+ miles, the peloton is hung together quite well. And I have noticed on previous rides and races that the peloton stretches out. It gets broken up here. So this is fun. There's Nathaniel Moore going up there, up out of the saddle. 500+ watts. And yes, this gets to be fun, and it is a fun climb. Even I enjoy it, and I'm not a climber. I don't do well, I just enjoy it. Scenery, what have you. So there's he's doing his feather in the steep part. I think it was steep. He's still got a feather going downhill. Yeah. All right. There you can see downtown Glasgow to your left. Tanny said there was a person to look out for. I think he had Axe in his name or something. And I haven't seen him. I don't know if I had the name right or whatever. But somebody to watch out for. What position are you in? So Mickey Mouse. Trying to mess somebody up, I guess. So I will stay with this for the duration of this climb, because it is just a fun climb. And I don't know if you can tell from the light shining through the windows a little bit. It's going to be a nice day. So even though I raced earlier this morning, doing this very same route, I am going to go out for a bike ride this afternoon. just because it's so nice. You got to do it when you can. All right, 10K into the ride, and there's going to be the top of the line for this good. Okay. Nathaniels up there. He's in the front. Yeah, doing quite well. Good job, player. Not even hating the game at this point. Excuse me. All right. Nice little downhill. So later they're going to go continue this downhill, go part of the Rolling Highlands Loop, which is, again, part of that original longer course that was put together. And then will do some of that. Look at him go. Yes. And then they will come back up this route and then down the other side that they just ascended before they get back into town and finish. So, see you down there in a little bit. All right. So, yeah, you didn't see that part, but I was brushing my teeth, so I couldn't comment. But they went through the castle again, where I talked about deploying the feathers. And just about right when I thought Nathaniel should deploy a feather, he did. And it worked out just perfectly because it got him right through all that steep stuff and lasted him long enough to... There's Nessie. That was a Loch Ness monster to the right there. You might have saw it. You can always rewind the video. You don't get to see her very often, but there she was. So, yeah, so he deployed his lightweight feather going up that steepest part of that. Here comes another of the breakaway bray. And so, yeah, that worked out well for him. And the breakaway bray, again, is a tough one. I mean, I felt like today, in today's race, because I was racing, and I think I was actually drafting somebody during this whole thing, and I still did not, I was 7 seconds away from setting another PR, because I think one of the first times I did the breakaway bray, I thought it was, it says 0.37 there, and I calculated it as being a little bit less distance than it really was, and so I was really pouring it on, and then realized that it wasn't quite there yet. You think that arch might be it, but it's not that arch that you see right there. It's that rectangular arch over there that they're getting ready to go through right now. And so it was like I put in a lot of effort the first time or whenever I set that previous PR, and it's just been hard to beat since then. So I think I had to get up over like 400 watts and sustain some of that for a bit, and that's a lot for me to sustain, which of course he was just doing there casually going downhill. He's doing 400 watts. All right, so where are we at, folks? We're 9.4 miles into this 14.5 miles, so we're 5 miles away from the finish. And, oh my goodness, 5 miles away from the finish and only about half of the elevation. 2/3 of the way through the race, half the elevation, so there's still a bit of climbing to do. Again, we're going to have to go the other side of this. There's a group of folks there in the race. It's probably the D people. And as I had mentioned, and I even mentioned this to Nathaniel pre-race, that the peloton is going to get broken up on that Skur hill. Actually, it hasn't. It's stayed together quite well. And yeah, which is most impressive. So I think I even noticed during the esports competition on Saturday that the peloton spread out quite a bit. So this is very impressive, yeah. All right, 9.9, pretty soon 10, and at 10 I will break away for a bit. Very scenic segment here. There's the red roof from the other perspective. So they just did this portion here momentarily, not long ago, in reverse. And this is when you would deploy your feather going the other direction. All right, just over 10 miles. I'll come back at a little bit. All right, hang tight. All right, folks, as we finish that roundabout right there, we're going to go back in through this little village and then up the south side of Climb, Sker Summit South. There it is for you. And it's 3.3% average, a little over half a mile. So this side isn't as long and or steep as the other side. So this one ends up going pretty fast. Before you know it, you're at the top. And somebody likes to keep asking questions, I think to distract people. That's what they're doing. So, Nathaniel, if you got your feather, deploy it now. No, okay, not now. We already hit the 9% part, I think we did. So, Bucklevee climb. I don't know what the Bucklevee is. Oh, he's got an arrow. Okay, so he's using his arrow. Good shot here. Picking it up. 24 miles an hour uphill. Holy cow. Good time to use his arrow. Right on. All right, look at him go. Yeah. And so I don't know if I think I remember mentioning that it finishes in Glasgow, and before the finish, they get into town with like a mile and a half to go, and in that, there's some of those punchy climbs. One of those being the Clyde Kicker, which is a nice. Starts into a climb, levels out a little bit, and then goes really steep for a moment. And then they finish up with the champion sprints. I think it's the champion sprint. All right, so they have crested that right now, and now they are on the downhill slope with just shy of 12 miles. So 2.5 miles to go. We're at 17 minutes, so I'm going to pause this. Tanny's going to go into super tuck here if I know him. Let's see if he does that. Oh, he fell off the back there. I wonder what's going on. He's doing 800 watts. Maybe just trying to get a draft and go through. Oh, there goes a hawk. I should turn the camera to the hawk. There's a hawk in my tree right outside. Awesome. Okay, he got right back to the front. Good for him. And 0 watts, 0 RPMs. He's trying to tuck. But probably not enough. Oh, he is tucked. Way to go, baby. You doing it. You doing it. He knows what's going on. He knows what's going on. All right. So, again, I'm going to pause for a couple miles here. Folks, we are entering downtown Glasgow with just about a little more than the final mile, so I will keep this on for the duration. So, I believe this went to 14.5. It's going to be the championship sprint finish. But if you watch, this will be a little bit punchy and fun. And Nathaniel's taking the lead with a mile to go. And can he hold it for a whole mile? You go, Nathaniel. I don't think he's trying to do that. So, yeah. Okay, here comes the Clyde Kicker I was telling you about. Here's the first part of it. Then it levels out, and then it's going to go into, I think, up to a 9% grade. So if you got a feather, some of those deployed a little early, but they use it now. If you got it, go Nathaniel. He's using his feather. I think he's got a feather. Oh, he's got the arrow is what he's got. I mean, he's going for it. He's up out of that saddle. He wants to crest over the top of that pretty good. Can maintain that momentum around the corner. He's still in his arrow, so that's good. That'll lead him into the downhill where I know he likes to get into the super tuck at a certain point. We'll see if he's able to pull that off. He's got the speed, he's got the grade. He could super tuck it, take a breath, and then climb right up this. So this is where it's fun and punchy. And because it just jumps up and down like that. And here you're going back down again. And we're at just 14 miles just about. So a little over a half mile to go. And there is quite a pack up there. This is still a solid, tight peloton. So there's going to be a lot of competition on this sprint here. This is going to get exciting, people. I don't see any breakaways happening here. Another downhill punch. All right, sharp right, and then it's going to go through that chicane. And then when they come out of the chicane, then there's going to be a turn to the left, and then there's the championship sprint, and that will be the finish. So it's going to happen before you know it. So here is the chicane. I think they call that a chicane. Tanny is working his way up to the front there. Up a little rise. He's going to get up out of his saddle, I'm pretty sure. 14.4. Okay, maybe it's a little more than 14.5 because they still got to do a left turn and then hit the championship sprint. That's going to be it. He is doing 600 watts, 500 watts. They're going to make that. Oh, somebody's way the hell up there. How did they get up there? OMG. Okay, there goes Nathaniel. 800 watts, 900 watts. And somebody's blowing right. How the hell are they blowing right by him? What the hell, 900 watts? Oh my God. That was quite. Oh, keep going. Yay. All right. What a race. That was a stiff competition there, man. Some serious racers there. They had a lot of energy left at that one. All right. Peace out, player. Good ride. Good ride.